subscribe.
Updates about dedicated servers. So, guys, I mean, it's a thing that I've come to just accept with my life that every week we'll have to add dedicated servers. But the one thing that you guys can just know is that we're constantly working on them, and it's it's hard to give you any answer other than it's being worked on, because the nature of the task is one that it is chipped away slowly over time. So until we're closer to any kind of breakthrough to maybe like alpha testing the dedicated servers or something in the future, the answer is pretty much just going to be the same thing. Since we just have to keep taking those little steps until we get to a point where we can actually get people testing it. So
yeah, one fair.
And then we'll make a big announcement, of course, because that would be an amazing time.
One fair point as well is that the conveyor belt thing that we're doing an experimental right now, that's part of the dedicated server work, because we did, like, dedicated server encompasses both, like, the actually running a dedicated server, which doesn't really do much for anyone at this point, because the biggest issue is still fixing multiplayer issues. So even if we had the thing,
like Fat Corsair right now is saying, I'd rather have desync fixed first than the dedicated servers. Exactly right, because that desync doesn't go away with dedicated servers.
Exactly.
The desync is there because there's a problem with multiplayer that desyncs, and so if you had dedicated servers, you just desync with the server.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you're talking about, Snip. That's one example.
Yeah, and it's also, this is like one out of several steps that we're taking recently, where this conveyor belt thing is on experimental right now, and we're testing that. That's part of like the work that needs to go into dedicated servers. But there's also the engine upgrade, which has a few desync fixes that's also going to come to experimental, which will also solve a few things that will then, be bundled in together with dedicated servers. Because like you said, like just having a server, like a headless server running instead of a listen server that we're doing right now, it doesn't actually improve the game that much. I guess like the argument is that people would like the ability to like run, a game without having to like wait for your friend to be online or whatever.
Doesn't work if it crashes in between.
Yeah, if it crashes in between, like it's not going to work regardless. But there are kind of like workarounds right now. Like if you're playing with friends and you don't want to wait for them to be online, like just set up some way that you can share the save file and pass that around, even though it's a bit inconvenient right now. Because it's pretty much like it's going to be the same game when dedicated servers come out as well. So I don't know. I guess that's like a shitty excuse or something. But it's all part, like the stuff that we're doing on experimental right now is part of dedicated servers. So you're all seeing the work we're putting into dedicated servers. It just
doesn't look like it really,
because
you're not getting a dedicated server, but you're getting the work that's necessary.
Yeah.